finding the part of the total. In this problem, I've asked you to find 37.5% of 40. I know the percent, and the of tells me I have found the total, so the thing I'm trying to find is the part. When I cover up the part in the percentage circle, I see that I should multiply the percentage times the total. So in this problem, I want to multiply 37.5%, the percentage, times 40, the total. I'll take 37.5% times 40. I want to be sure and change this to a decimal, so I'll have 37.5% times 40. And I want to change it from a percent all the way into a decimal, so I'll have 0.375 times 40. We'll come over and multiply this problem, 0.375 times 40. When I multiply by the 0, I'll get a row of zeros. And then I'll move over to the tens column to multiply by the 4. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30, carry the 3. And 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. When I do the addition, I notice that I have to put some decimal points in. I will check and see there are 1, 2, 3 places following the decimal. So starting from the right, I'll move in 1, 2, 3 places. Then I have found out that 37.5% of 40 is 15. I used the percentage circle to find that when I knew the percent and the total, I needed to multiply them together to get the part. 15 is the part of 40, that is 37.5%. In percentage problem solving, find out what the problem is asking. Then use the percent circle to find the answer. After finding the percentage answer, ask yourself if the amount needs to be added or subtracted, or if it is already the right answer. When we look at the problem we've written on the board, it seems quite complex at the outset, but we know everything that we need to know in order to be able to solve this problem along with the help from the percentage circle. The problem says the department store has a store-wide sale of 33.33% off all merchandise. Lyndon saw a sweater for the list price of $45. What was the actual sale price of the sweater? And if the sales tax was 8.5%, what was the total cost of the sweater? We're going to have several steps in this problem, and we need to have a good plan before we start. So let's make sure we know what we really want. The final thing, of course, is the total cost of the sweater. But before we can do that, we need to know the new price of the sweater. And the new price will come from finding out how much was marked off of the sweater. The second thing we need to do is find out how much sales tax will be added to our purchase. We'll do that by taking 8.5% of the new price of the sweater and adding it to the cost. When we have a plan, we're ready to go. We've thought through our plan carefully. The first thing that we need to know is what is the new price of the sweater. If we review the problem, we see that the store had a sale of 33.33% off all merchandise. The original price of the sweater is $45. So we want to find out what part of $45 represents 33.33%. If we come to our chart, we know to cover up the part, and we're going to take 33.33% times the total, which is $45. We'll take 33.33% times the original price of $45. A quick way to do this problem is to know that 33.33% changes to the fraction 1/3. I'm going to multiply that by 45 by placing 45 over 1. I know that I can reduce both of these terms by a factor of 3. I'll divide 3 by 3 and divide 45 by 3. When I multiply, I'm going to get 1 times 15, which is 15, over 1 times 1, which is 1, or $15. I need to remember what that represents. In the problem, it said this was 33.33% off. That is not the cost of the sweater, but rather how much is marked off the cost of the sweater. So if my sweater started out at a price of $45, the discount gave me $15 off. I'm going to subtract $15. That would mean the new price of the sweater is $30. The new price of the sweater is $30. Now I have completed part A. I'm still not done with my transaction because I need to know how much this sweater is going to cost after sales tax. So when I'm looking at the sales tax problem, it says the sales tax is 8.5%. I want to know 8.5% of 30. I'm going to say what part of 30 is 8.5%. If I cover up the part, I know again I need to take the percent times the total. The percent times the total. So I will take 8.5% times the total, which is now the new price of the sweater, times $30. That problem can be changed to 8.5% times $30, which is the same as 0.085 times $30. I have 0.085 times 30. I'm going to multiply by 0 and get my row of zeros, and then I'll multiply by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. I notice I have 1, 2, 3 decimal places, so from the right I'll move in 1, 2, 3 decimal places. And I see that my tax is $2.55. So the new cost of my sweater is $30, and it will have a sales tax of $2.55. In order to figure out the total cost of the sweater, I'll need to write the new cost of the sweater plus the tax. So the total cost of the sweater will be $32.55. Even though this problem had several steps, it was easy to figure out. You have all the skills that you need to do this, and you also have the percent circle to help you through the problem.
In the hardware store, you see this wood splitting maul that you want to buy. It is a 12-pound splitting maul that sells for $46. If the sales tax is 7.5%, what is the total cost? Let's do this problem and use the percentage circle. We want to know what is 7.5% of $46. And so we want to know the part. So we do the percent times the total. Now let's just do that. So it's 7.5% times $46. Let's change that into a decimal. It's 7.5%. New decimal place over 2 places. That equals 0.075. So $46 times 0.075. Let's do the math. 0, 5 times 0, 5 times 0 again is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23. 7 times 0 is 0. Again, 0. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 4 is 32. 0, 0, 0, 5, 4, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sales tax on that splitting maul for $46 would be $3.45. So we'd have to add the two together. $46 plus $3.45. That'd be 5, 4. That'd be 9, 4, and bring down the decimal place. And so that splitting maul will cost $49.45. Now I want to stress something here. Now, after the decimal point, we didn't have to leave those zeros on here. We just did it because it was over here. You could have just multiplied 46 by 0.075. You would have gotten the same answer. But in working with percentage, sometimes you get confused. But use your logic. I can't stress this enough. I'm going to write that word. Be logical. Math is logical. Instead of saying 7.5%, put in a figure like 10%. If you had to pay 10% sales tax, you know you just moved that decimal point over one place, you'd be paying $4.60. So you know that at 7.5%, it's got to be less than $4.60. If you had the sales tax, say $5 and something like this, hey, something's wrong. The math must be wrong. So when you're working with percentage, use a simple number and think. Use your logic. Math is logical, and particularly in doing percentage, because you can get confused sometimes. What are you going to cover up? But if you use logic, 7.5% of $46, and you just say instead 10%, and you can do that quickly into your head, and you know it's $4.60, you know that number has to be less than $4.60. And so we have the answer for this. 7.5% of $46 is $3.45, and you add that on to the price of that wood splitting mold, and you get $49.45.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.